Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Storm Warning, a token deck in Jeskai colors. We have a list of planeswalkers that draw us cards or generate tokens. The Caretaker's talent is a key card for us this time around as it really becomes the engine for the deck. We're playing this one by the seat of our pants. We only have Bounce and a small package of sweepers to deal with enemy men. We're relying on the power of our tokens to see us through. First up is our Bounce, Into the Flood Maw. For only 1 blue, we can bounce an enemy, or we can gift a tapped fish and bounce any non-land permanent back to the opponent's hand. Red Leyline? Back to their hand for 1 blue and let them replay it again if they can. It's not removal, but it can buy us some critical time. Caretaker's talent is the hero of the deck, even though it's not a man. This enchantment works wonders with tokens and is a win con all its own. It's the backbone of the deck, and in multiples can take over a game. We're not packing counterspells, so if the opponent can destroy it, we will have to fight the hard way. Hop to It is a great card that goes hand in hand with our talent. 3/1/1 tokens for the easy price of 3 mana. There's simply nothing better at making a small squad. Union of the Third Path is critical life gain along with a replacement effect that gets us another card. We're loaded with draw if we get a Caretaker's talent down, so this could load us up on life at a critical moment. Or if we need to dig to find a talent, then this can help us out while gaining us life that could buy us some time. The Gauntlet is a powerful tool that can let us planeswalkers get out of hand. We've got an excellent team that can help us stay in a game longer, and the Gauntlet can pump anything we have that's got a counter on it. A pumped-up planeswalker can also use the Gauntlet to get us an extra turn. After that, it should be GG's. Thank you, please. Why do you smell like cheese? Elspeth is more powerful than people might realize. We'll use her to crank out 1/1 men with lifelink, and she can even pump one of them up and give it flying for that critical evasion. If they've managed to snipe our talents, we can use her ultimate to get them back on board and keep the party going. No Witnesses is our first pair of sweepers. At just 4 mana, it's something we can fire off early to clear out enemy squads before they do too much damage. It might be that Split Up, the new sweeper from Duskmourn, might be a better fit here, but that's something we've yet to test out. Jace is primarily for card draw, as well as a way to win in games that have gone long, and we're not able to get through with our token men. Jace is fantastic against self-mill decks, since we can often draw 3 with his -2 ability. Ral is another great way to pump out token men and help us draw cards, the 2 most important functions we need in this deck. He also gets a loyalty boost with every non-creature spell we play out, which in this deck is everything other than the 2 white overlords. Saheeli can generate a pair of tokens with flying and can give us a scry and draw. She is one of the weaker planeswalkers, so going with a 4th or 3rd copy of something else is entirely plausible. Sunfall is easily one of the best sweepers in the game, and we're playing 3. This will take care of all men, regardless of how indestructible or how much hexproof or ward they have. We'll even get a draw for every talent we have on board when we generate the incubator token. Sunfall is just so good. Teferi is a powerhouse when he's teamed up with a Caretaker's talent. We can have him generate a token and get a draw right away, so he only loses 1 loyalty with 1 talent in play. With multiples, Teferi doesn't lose loyalty at all and could even gain. If we need to, we have his ultimate that can clear out everything the opponent has in play, and that will often end the game. They go back to the Stone Age while we have our board intact and untouched. GG's, opponent. Thanks for coming to the big show. The Wanderer is a strong planeswalker that can keep an enemy man tied down with her blink ability or turn an artifact like Urabrask's Forge into a useless ornament. She does have a sweeper effect that can take out all but 1 enemy, which we get to choose who is left on the enemy team. It's another great way to take out men that are hard to deal with. What's hilarious is we can bounce something by playing Into the Flood Maw and gift a tapped fish, then fire off her sweeper ability and let them keep the fish. The opponent will love it when we do that to them. The White Overlord a monster 6/6, but we can play him out for the impending and get a pair of 2/1 flying tokens. Even our men generate tokens, which we can use to our advantage. For lands, we have 3 Thundering Falls, the Izzet Surveil land, 3 Eroded Canyon, the Izzet Desert, 3 Tranquil Cove, the Azorius Lifegain Duel, 3 Mountain, 6 Islands, and 6 Plains. Playing the deck can be a challenge early on with our limited amount of removal, so getting through the early turns is critical. It's also the best time to start laying down the foundation for our mid-game turns. A talent along with a way to generate tokens is critical. If we can stabilize with life gain and tokens, or even a sweeper, then we can start taking advantage of our token-generating planeswalkers along with leveling up a talent. In the late game, we can fight for control of the board with powerful abilities while amassing a sizable army. For upgrades, we can go in more of a control direction by taking out the white overlords, Saheeli, Jace, and maybe even Union of the Third Path, and replace them with removals or counterspells to foil the opponent's plans. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Proto-Q-Arc. Of all the weird names we've seen, this one is special. We're kicking off with a 3-lander that is 1 white short a good hand. We do have one of our bounce to fend off an early threat, along with a talent we can play out until we get that second white. Let's do it. Keep your pants on. We draw a Union, which will be a great help. We'll get a card to replace it along with a bit of life. That's a herd migration going to the grave. A clear indicator that the opponent is on a domain strategy. The green Overlord is their first real play. It'll give them a token land of all land types and good effective ramp. About the only good thing is that they are slow to develop, so we have time to get ourselves sorted out. We'll play out the talent. If they have an enchantment removal, at this point, I'd rather them take the talent over Elspeth. We'll pass the turn. Our play will be the Union at the end of their turn. That's 2 turns in a row for them without any plays. Let's see what we get with our Union. That's a second white. We're in business, my friends. It's too bad everything we have in white takes double white. We can't play something out then copy a token right away with the talent. We'll go with our white Overlord here. That will give us a pair of tokens, draw us a card, and we have a big target for their enchantment removal. It took them a while, but they finally got one of their beanstalks. Wait a second. I mean, yeah, we're going to lose our tokens, but they lose their beanstalk, which they just played. Not only are we his opponent, but he is also his own opponent. What are you doing, bro? That was the sound of disappointment right there. Play it again. Hilarious. I know, I find some weird things funny. It's time to play out Elspeth. That's going to be card draw every turn, and all we have to do is +1 our planeswalker. An Atraxa? What a surprise. It is a problem, and I really don't want to use a sweeper to take care of 1 card. But we might not have a choice. There's their enchantment removal. They take Elspeth, but we get to keep our talent.
Surely more can be done.
We clear the board and we draw as well. The talent is so good. They play their own white Overlord and get a big goon squad going. It's a shame, but we might have to clear out the board yet again. Let's play out a second talent. That'll give us a double draw with every token we generate, including the incubator token we'll get from Sunfall. Let's let her rip. We get a board cleared out, and we draw a pair of cards to help boost our hand. And we'll get our Overlord at the end of the turn, too. The Gauntlet isn't only for the benefit of our planeswalkers. The incubator tokens can get a pump from it as well. Anything we control that's got a counter, we can add another onto it. Luckily, we're drawing all these lands, so we'll be able to fire off our 1-mana instant when we're ready. They actually activate their angry outhouse and send it in. The Overlord, sure, but a 4/4 land is getting blocked up and sent to an early grave. We'll block up the Overlord as well. We'll only lose a token, but we've got more on the way unless we draw the rest of our lands. We've got ammo, but for now we'll level up one of our talents and copy a rabbit token. That's a draw 2 for 1 white mana. Easy peasy, extra cheesy. Now we'll bounce their blocker and get it out of the way. It's a removal, but when they got it, they sent a Sunfall to the grave. The token pump is next. We'll make some fat men. Then we'll land Elspeth and generate 3/3 lifelink men that will soon be 5/5. That's more than they can handle. GG's, bro. This is Dima Soar? No, wait. It's just Dima. We start off with a 3-lander this game, and as you can see, this is an older version of the deck. We tried having some red planeswalkers, but they didn't really work out. I like this hand. Keep. They are a fairy, bro. I thought they had gone extinct, but we've dug up a fossil. They might have counters, so we'll have to prepare for that eventuality. But a great card that answers counterspells is our talent. All we need to do is get something down that generates tokens, and we'll have more ammo to replace cards that get countered. I'm sure bro is already crying inside when he saw us land our talent. They pretty much tapped out. Maybe they needed the draw to find their 4th land, but we'll take the opportunity to generate some token men. I love playing against players who use cards and effects that they could have used on our turn. You know, leave mana up to fire off counters, but instead they tap themselves out when they don't have any plays. Makes playing against them so much easier. We don't have to guess if they have something or not. I hope that banner was worth it. Let's play out the eidetic memory, then we can make a token copy of one of our rabbit tokens, and we'll pump up one of them to a decent size. Let's get in there. Most of our men are small, but together they hit big. Damages, bro. Damages. Are they going for a sweeper? That should be at the top of their list. They take their 3-point hit from their own card. That put them within arm's reach. We'll take advantage and level up our talent, and that will pump our rabbits to lethal size. GG's, bro. Today we battle the Dark Lord. 2 enter, but only 1 can leave. Please let it be me. With great risk comes great reward. This hand doesn't look all that great, but there's not much wrong other than we have tap lands early on. Keep your pants on. Honestly, I would have liked to have thrown the gauntlet in the grave, but I didn't want to give them to see it and have some idea of what to expect. So we keep the gauntlet, even though this early it's not going to do anything. Information can be huge in this game. Let's send the team. We have to get in for hits with our bunny team. We'll land the gauntlet. I know, you're thinking, why play it out? I've got word from a good authority. We'll be able to put it to good use. They snipe one of our bunny men, so go down a man, but we'll have more on the way. We draw an Elspeth, which lets us step on the gas. We'll generate a 1/1 to replace the token we lost to their removal.
This is our fight to win.
Turtle power is something they believe in, but I don't see any mutants or teenagers or ninjas over there. Just a turtle. We're going to sweep up their turtle with our bounce. It's not removal, but it'll let us get in for damages. And with the gauntlet, we'll add a counter to Elspeth.
You've earned my blessing.
We'll be cautious of a sweeper and hold on to our second hop to it. If they clear the board, we'll rebuild quickly. And if they turtle up, we have another bounce house to throw their guy in. There it is again, turtle power of the reach variety that also fetches up a land. We have a third Into the Flood Maw on top. We'll keep it as we can keep sending their turtle back to their hand. Let's get in for damages. The men are only tokens, but the beatings are real. They need to go with a different plan, or they are toast, no jam. Playing out the turtle again is GG's. Let's see what they do. They go with a double snipe of our men, but that's fine too. We have hop to it to rebuild. They get back a fabled passage, and that's it. No blockers to help defend their life total. We'll rebuild and prepare ourselves to send our men on our next turn.
Form up on me!
They plant a totally different turtle this time. They're asking too much of that one turtle if that's all they're going to play out. Get some more turtles, bro. Call in the squad. There should be another 3 turtles and a box of pizza. And a rat, a big one that wears a robe. Okay, they got half the team on board. That's a start at least. We draw into another hop to it, and that'll be 3 more men we'll have to send in. Let's fire it off right away. We'll bounce one of the turtles. That'll mean we'll lose only one of our men, and we'll get through for enough damages that we can threaten lethal on our next turn.
To the skies!
We get them down to 2 life. They need a sweeper, or an instant army, or both. They stick to their guns and turtle up, but it's not going to be enough. They have 1 turtle with reach, but we'll have 2 men with flying. These rabbit punches can't be taken lightly.
earned my blessing.
GG's, bro. GG's. Extra cheese. This is evil ate her. That is definitely evil, bro. Was there seconds or thirds? We get a 3-lander with a lot of blue, but enough of our other colors to be all right, as we like to say around here. Keep your pants on. They play out a loam speaker. It feels like it's been years since I saw this guy regularly, but it can't be that long, right? The memory replaces itself, so we get a draw when we play it out. We were trying to use this in combination with Caretaker's talent to pump our tokens to freakishly large proportions, but sometimes we drew too many copies of it, and being legendary, the copies weren't as good, so we cut the card entirely. Bro likes playing a lot of colors, apparently. A heaped harvest should help them find whatever they're missing and gain them some life in the process. We started with a 3-lander, and we still have 3 lands in hand. At least we got a Surveil land, and that might at least stop us from drawing another land. We do need another white, but Sunfall is always good. It's amazing, but all they do is get another land. They don't even try to come in for damages. Every point could matter. Let's slow them down a bit and send their speaker packing. Go back to your home, bro. Are you too good for your home? They bounce our memory back to hand in response. Sure thing, bro, if that makes you feel better. The question now is to go with the memory, or we can try going for Jace. We can start getting extra draws, and when we land our memory again, we can put some good pump on our fish token. We'll slap them with our sushi and see if they like it. You had to know they would have a counter. Were they really going to counter the memory, though? They activate their manland and swing in for a 5-hit. They could actually kill us with it, but I know these players. They'll get greedy and want to play out the cards in their hand. They won't be able to commit to taking down our life total with a land if it means they have to nearly tap out every turn. Well, I am impressed. They did go for another land activation. But not so fast, Junior. We have a card to fire off. Let's bounce their land. Oh, really? What are you going to do? Tap it for mana during combat? You do you, bro. This time I know we'll land Jace thanks to them attempting to attack with their land.
Kapashk, Imasahak. I know where to find all the.
We get another bounce, so we'll be free to send in our fish token. Slap with the sushi, my friends. They play their speaker and then follow it up with a plunderer. That guy is going to give us a treasure to be able to fire off a Sunfall. Thanks, bro. It's always nice when the opponent helps us out. They fire off a removal for the token they gave us. That's hilarious, bro. They don't want to be slapped with sushi anymore. Jace is likely going to go down a hole, but if we're going to use his ability to draw again, we should at least get Teferi down so he benefits from the draw. Then we can use Teferi for another draw.
The entire multiverse is at stake. I won't back down.
The data requires scrutiny.
Another mystery solved.
Somehow, they end up sending only one guy at Jace, and the other is coming at us. We'll take the damages from the Plunderer, but we can save Jace with a timely bounce. They use a bramble, familiar to Mill, and get a card from their grave for free, and they fetch out a snake, an evil, evil snake. We'll toss a card instead of losing any life or sacrificing a permanent. We've drawn all our Sunfalls, how funny is that? Well, we have men we need gone, so let's take them out. Get gone, girls. Pack your bags, you've got a free trip to Belize, they've got one card left in hand. What's going to be the play?
Now that is an interesting fact.
Become subdued.
They go for a draw 5 with a blue season. They've essentially caught up to us. They play out another Plunderer, but he's not a very effective guy when he's alone. We'll keep drawing with Teferi to build up his loyalty. Eventually, we'll be able to start making big Teferi tokens and take the battle to their face. And Jace will zero out the Plunderer.
Our plans are beyond your comprehension.
We'll hold back our token in case they activate their land and try to come in for damages. They try to sneak an angry outhouse down on the board without us seeing it, but we know what it is. We saw that. The Eater of All. That's perfect, because we're going to make it eat its own shorts. It eats those too, right? Yes. Yes, it does. They go for their look, how clever we are, play, and send in their Plunderer with -1 power. We'll go ahead and use up the treasure they gave us earlier, and we'll block up their Plunderer. We could have sacrificed one of our tokens for some life gain, but that's all right. We draw an Elspeth, and that might give us the firepower we need to fuel up a win. Let's use Jace now that we know they will have 20 or more cards in their grave, and we'll get to draw 3. We all know drawing cards is like a drug to Teferi. He loves it. That's right. Drink up, big boy. Teferi goes to 14, and you know what time it is. Time to spank that bootay.
This'll set you back a few years.
I've got a whole plan. Together we can shift the current.
We drew a good amount of cards. Let's pump up one of the rabbit tokens and send it in. With this hit, they'll be looking at lethal damages on our next turn, so we don't need to send anything else and hold what we have for defense.
Well, gotta work with what's available.
This could potentially be their last turn depending on what they have in hand. They've got a lot of blockers to play out or a sweeper to fire off. Looks like 3 blockers. Not bad. We can give one of our tokens flying, and that can deal with Ren. They knew they were outmanned and outgunned. GG's, bro. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.